These are some of the practical daily habits I have that allow me to run multiple businesses and have a full-time job and have two children. I thought I'd show you how I plan my weeks and how I ensure that I fit in all of the individual tasks that come with running an online business. For context, right now I'm on maternity leave and I have two children. One is 4 and one is 6 months. Honestly, the only way that I can fit this stuff in consistently is if I habit stack. What works for me is working on different areas of the business on specific days. Mondays are my finance day. I do this whilst watching Grey's Anatomy between 8 and 9 p.m. It's the same every single week. My husband goes to the gym, I watch Grey's, I do my finance. Tuesdays I work on emails. Emails and having a high degree of segmentation is something that is a significant money-making task for me. It really moves the needle. So I deliberately spend quite a lot of time on this, and it's something that I try and do weekly. I can't do it whilst watching television, so I do it whilst listening to music. I do it in the hour before I have an online Pilates session at 9 p.m. So I know I've got a hard stop and I have to get that work done in that one hour slot. Wednesdays, I don't try and do anything. If I get anything done in the evening on a Wednesday, that's a bonus. And I think that's a really important point when you're trying to fit something in, like making additional money online or starting a new business or working alongside a full-time job. You have to leave days where you don't do anything, where you're not working on your business. Because inevitably you will have other things come into your life that you need to pay attention to, that you need to do. You need to see your friends, you need to see your family. Stuff happens. Kids get sick, you get sick. So if you leave enough buffer in your week, that's when things don't become overwhelming and you are left thinking, oh my gosh, I have not been productive because I've not done something every single day of the week. I don't even try to. Wednesdays and Fridays, as you can see coming up, are completely clear for me. Thursdays, I usually have a little bit of childcare, so I block in 2 hours every single Thursday for content creation. Now, that could be batch thinking of ideas, batch filming, or batch doing the post-production and the editing. I very rarely try and do all three of those things together, just because I find thinking of good video ideas and coming up with content strategy can be quite mentally draining. And then if you then try and go and think of an idea, film it and edit it all in one day, I just find it gets a little bit fatiguing. And for me, that's the secret to my consistency, is to be able to batch all the different elements of producing video content rather than trying to do one video every single day. Fridays, I've got another buffer. I don't do anything on a Friday. I've got both my kids at home with me. If I get anything done on a Friday, that's a bonus. Then on a Saturday, once a month, my husband will take both our kids and our dog for the full day, and I will have a few hours to myself. I'll maybe go and see my friends, have coffee, do some exercise, whatever, and then I will also spend 3 to 4 hours that day on new product development, and I do that in my local library. Sundays, right now my son has a sewing lesson that's about to shift to a Saturday morning, but right now it's on a Sunday, and during that time I write my weekly newsletter. What I really find works for me in this schedule is the fact that I have a really specific task. I also have a specific time and a specific habit that I am stacking it onto. So I know I'm doing finance when I'm watching Grey's, and then I also have the things that I do every day, like walk my dog, and during that time I respond to people with voice notes. That's why I love voice notes so much, because I can have it stack them whilst walking the dog. And I also listen to Audible, so that's how I consume all of my educational content. And then when I'm nap trapped, which is every single day because my baby only has contact naps, and during that time I will leave feedback for people who are in my mentorship group, I will do my emails, and I also do more voice notes. So that's how I plan out my week. That's how I manage to fit everything in. I've moved out the way so you can screenshot it, you can bookmark this and come back to it later when you're sitting down to make your plan for your week ahead and thinking, how am I going to get all of this stuff done? This is how you practically fit it in.